Director of Police released horrific crime statistics. I mean, if I said this, and this was said 5 years ago, it will still be relevant because it doesn't look like we're making any dent on crime. In fact, if anything, we're birthing new types of crime. So I thought tonight we'll talk to the Premier of Gauteng, not as Premier, but as MEC of Public Safety or MEC of Police, because he took that particular portfolio and put it in his office and said, this is too serious. So we'll talk to him about that. I'm going to be asking him what effect that would have on the work that he has to do and how we should judge him on the issue of crime. He's already threatened to resign if crime doesn't improve. You know how he is. So he left to account for those statements tonight. But before we do that, I wanted to talk a little bit about something that irritated me greatly this past week. If you watched Checkpoint, and if you didn't, I will invite you to go to enca.com and watch the latest episode of Checkpoint, where they were dealing with what I can simply call a CSI scam, okay, by KFC. And lots of, KFC is one of our popular brands of fast foods. Now, when you go to KFC, they will say to you, add hope. Now, add hope, you give R2, and they're saying you are adding hope, you're going to be taking care of children and, starving kids and what have you. And that's a good thing, But it's a donation. So whether it's R2, it's your R2. So you can decide whether you'll donate it or you won't, right? Maybe you want to give that R2 directly to the kids that they're talking about. In that program, it tells us firstly that half the time the money gets to those kids you are donating for. Way too late or maybe too infrequently. But that's not even the biggest scandal. The biggest scandal is that if you are a cashier at KFC and I come and I don't donate the R2, I'm actually threatening your job. Can you believe it? Can you believe such a scandal, right? That actually the R2 is a target. The management makes it a target for people who are at the tills. But no, watch. Therefore, your performance comes under question. I don't understand that level of evil. I just don't. Because you are using a good thing to be bad to your own staff. I mean, I can't believe it. I was truly dumbfounded that such a thing is even fathomable. Because in fact, I was saying just recently that why don't McDonald's and Nando's do the same thing, where they actually create a program where you can donate, and so that they don't throw away food and what, they also, channel some of their profits to the communities who are dying eating their food. But remember, this is not healthy food. Let's just start there. So at least this thing, one should have said, at least they are planting back something, And no. We had people, of course, they were afraid to be seen on screen saying, hey, we're in trouble here. Please save our jobs. So people are saying, hey, maybe we must donate the R2 just to make sure these people don't lose their jobs. KFC, this is a shame. But it's not a shame in isolation. And please, anybody who's head of CSI, just gather around a little bit. CSI is not PR stunt. Corporate social investment must be an investment back into communities. If you get PR mileage out of it, it should be an accident. You can't then create a fake CSI so that you can get publicity. I mean, the South African corporates, are full of shamelessness. They are full of shame. And there is a big corporate that will remain nameless just for tonight. These guys say, hey, what can we do on CSI? Hey, man, this thing is too much trouble, man. But hey, 1%, let's buy computers. Mara, let's take these computers to the Eastern Cape. In some rural place, the school doesn't have electricity. But the computers, they just dump them. We've given this school 100 computers, which have not been opened by anybody for a year. They gather dust. You get there and say, hey, Barry, MTN or Vodacom or what are the others, Cell C or whatever, have donated cell phones where there's no tower. Eh? They have these generated computers where teachers themselves can operate them because there's no electricity. But what happens at the end of the year? The foundation has donated 100 computers, to Kofi Mvaba. And then the CEOs will be talking big English in these banquets. When they are talking nonsense, when they are talking rubbish, because first of all, they have not consulted those communities about what their needs are. Then they go and create in the midst of poverty. And I saw a fella computer center. It's a very king. So when I saw this thing of KFC, no, they are in good company. Corporate South Africa is rotten to the core when it comes to corporate social investment. Because Bioberg has publicity. A few years ago, not so many, also a few years ago, but let's say 2007, I was part of a team that was dealing with CSI in education. Now, this one is even a bigger scandal. We talk to principals. The principal about, hey man, what do you need? What can we bring? Can we bring you the budget of education? Hey, the principals about, hey, don't bother. Don't bother, Gauri. Eskom or some corporate receive a big check. The Department of Education cuts our budget. Now Eskom is going to be there because they are, and it's not particularly Eskom, but whatever corporate, because their CSI is a gimmick, it will run out. It depends who's the head of CSI. If the head of CSI, hey, CSI to next week. And we're not most of it more, Bali feeded 2 million for this year. Next year, you'll retire. And then the Department of Education adds salt. Salt to the wound. No, it's not me. This is what the principal said. Kamo Haram meeting. I know that the premier was the MEC of Education. So that's our offense him. But this is what happened. The principals told us this. It shows you chaos in the CSI space. And KFC is a poster boy or girl for nonsense instead of CSI. You must stop it. And I hope people boycott that to run. Anyway, after the break, we talk to the Premier of Gauteng. Tonight, in his capacity as a head of police in this province, to clamp down on the crime that has made our lives a misery if the crime statistics are anything to go by.